Sup, kids? Who here has never dreamed of doing nothing, you know? But at the same time, having everything, having the body, the wafers, the money. But all of that comes at a price, right, my dude? To have the body, you got to train. To have money, you got to work. To have the woo, you got to have money. It's a vicious cycle, unless you could be everywhere at once doing everything. Or actually, you're not anywhere at all. You're just sitting there reaping the rewards, including in the most important part of this society, the dungeons. But our boy's life wasn't always like this, my dudes. In fact, he never had time to do everything he needed. You got to study to get a good job, but then you got to work to pay the bills. And then you also got to eat. How do you take care of your health? How do you enjoy life? Especially when he's a little gamer who loves a bit of lull, likes to travel, wants to hang out with friends, and also right guys want some action. But it ain't easy, especially since our boy is currently this chubby dude here. Second year of college. This is John. He's in the middle of a presentation where a Rank Hunter Part 1 is greeting everyone in the 10th episode of the Awakened program. In this world, everyone who comes into contact with mana can be forcibly awakened, and that's what happens in this program. They kind of force your natural talent to come out. Just like in solo leveling, right, dude? The stronger your talent, the better your life. Ah, there's a guy over there saying for him to enter the portal so he'll be taken to the world where his talent awakens. He shows up in this giant bunker. Man, there's already a waifu over there awakening some crazy fire ability. Some dudes are already rushing in, desperately asking her to join their guild. You can tell, right? Whoever has good talent gets offers right away. Then this dude shows up and asks our protagonist, "You're all right, man." He says, "Not really." "Whatever. Just tell me what the talent is." "Hold on, I'll check here." He opens the little window and is shocked at how trash this damn kid is. But he says, "Whatever. What matters is your talent." His talent cloning level 1 summoning ability consumes energy to summon an identical replica of the summoner. The number of summons increases with level. You'll always be connected to your clone. Max summons one with a 24-hour cooldown. He's already wondering, could I use this in daily life? The dude comes back and asks him what the stats are, and he says, "Not very good, man." "Okay, whatever. Tell us your skill." "It's cloning." The guy makes a face like, "Egg kinda meh." Our protagonist goes, "Wait, isn't that good?" "What's up?" The guy says, "Lots of people already awaken cloning ability, but it's always like a ghost, you know, something that doesn't interact with the real world." Our boy thinks, "My technique doesn't seem ghost-like, right?" While the guy tries to console him like, "Well, at least you awaken something, right, you fat loser? Better than nothing." Then a guy in the back throws a punch in the air. Everyone turns to look. The dude says, "Go on, show your skills so everyone can see." But our boy, he's antisocial, man, saying that a bunch of people are going to be watching, asking for explanations. Sheesh, he already wants to leave. He goes through a routine check, and the guy says he has a 73% chance of having one or more abilities later. So he's going home now with his awakened bracelet man. In his apartment, he's staring at his PCs. The bastard is a macro user, you know. He leaves programs running that play games by themselves. Then he gets items and sells them for real money. That's how he makes a living. It's not much, but it's dishonest work. The problem is that it seems like the games where he uses those programs are kind of dying, right? So now he'll have to make a new program. It's not easy until he says, "Man, I'll use this damn thing. Let's see what's up with this trip." He starts to concentrate, already getting the little aura going. Boom. Goes for the big clone. Man, the thing comes out of his belly. His clone's going to be a chubby one. Explosion, smoke, and it comes out. Whoa, man. Just like that, huh? Came out with no clothes on. Our boy's left speechless and asks, "Are you a clone?" Clone talks, man, and says, "Yes." He says, "Can I touch your skin?" "Yes, master." He pokes the shoulder. Damn, this thing's realistic. Feels real, you know. Hold up. Put some clothes on, you dang clone. He asks, All I have to do is give an order. The clone says, "Yes, man." Squat. And the clone squats. Then he thinks, "Stand up." And the clone stands. So yeah, it listens to thoughts. And now squat and stand 1,000 times. And the clones are struggling, already sweating. The clone's stamina seems to be the same as his. He gets a message from a friend asking if he awakened. He says he did. The friend goes, "Bet you awakened some trash skill, you fat bastard." He replies, Yeah, that's what happened, asshole." But that's when he gets a notification. His stamina increased by 0.001 without him doing anything. But the story now tells us about the jumper George Lucas man, a wild title, an S rank, the first to clear the so-called Odin Tower dungeon. His secretary walks in and says, "Hey, jumper, 80% of the population has awakened already." Okay? And he goes, "How long until 100%? She says, "It'll take 5 years at most, and by then everyone will have awakened," he says. "So it won't take long." Huh. Does that mean when everyone awakens something crazy is going to happen? I don't know. But George Lucas the jumper knows. Then we see our boy, right? Probably the clone running. I mean, come on. You think that lazy chubby dude is out there running? Old man at the bench. Man, there's that crazy dude again. Yeah, man. I see him. Comes here every day and runs till sunset. An old lady walks up. "My boy, want a water bottle? Here, take this before you drink." But the guy just frowns and walks off fast. Back home, he's weighing himself. And the kid already lost 20 kilos in 1 month while eating double. Man, this is the life. His stats are still going up. Stamina plus 0.1, reflex plus 0.1, agility plus 0.1, everything's rising. Our boy already figured out a few things about his clones. First, the clone's pain and exhaustion don't affect him at all. Second, if you push the clone too hard or it runs out of energy, it disappears, turns into smoke. Third, the clone changes appearance along with him. You know, as it gets in shape, the clone does too. Also, even from really far away, he can give it commands just by thinking. And lastly, it's impossible for a clone to use a clone. Otherwise, it would bug out the world. He starts browsing the Awakened status site to check info. The status a human has at level 1 is the maximum they'll ever have unless they awaken. Makes sense. Most people only have basic stats, right? Like strength and speed. But there are a bunch of hidden stats like regeneration and mentality that can only be awakened. Nobody really knows how. What people do know is that even if you train hard every day, you'll gain like 0.01, you know? It's not something that goes up easily. Unless, of course, you're a bastard who leaves the clone working nearly 24 hours a day. Our boy who's a Sububum fan is already thinking about joining a gym. And just like the game characters are controlled while he's the brain behind everything, now he's going to be the brain behind the clones. The bad part is he's broke as hell. The guy's got $700 in the bank, and that's it. For someone living alone, he's screwed, especially since he has to eat double now because the clones burn through a lot of energy. Stating that his in-game gigs aren't going so well, he starts thinking, can I get someone to work for me? The problem is a lot of jobs are complicated until he finds some shady guy trying to exploit people. Crazy monkey logistics center, you just show up and carry boxes. Simple job. Don't ask much and you're already making money, man. Our boy goes, "Oh, perfect. I'm going to be a slave." I mean, not really, right? Because you know what he's going to do? He calls, "Hey, got an opening for me? I want to work." The guy says, "Yeah, sure. Come over." He replies, "Okay, I'll go tomorrow." No, you're coming today." "Damn, fine then. Slave-ass job." He finds it kind of sketchy, but hey, it's what's available. He already arrives at the company with his cousin brother, right? Who's actually the sneaky clone. He gives him instructions. "Yo, clone, just answer with simple words. Don't talk too much to anyone, and your name is Jong Dong." Got it. The clone agrees. Then this old guy shows up like, "What are you doing here?" Turns out it's some guy named Dio Chill, someone he knew. Dude's shocked like how much weight has this bastard already lost. And instead of helping, the guy says he'll take him to the office to give his documents and stuff. Our boy is nervous, but the clone seems emotionless. Man doesn't care about anything. But working life isn't easy, man. 2 hours carrying boxes and he's already destroyed. Meanwhile, the clone is unstoppable, right, bro? The guys are getting freaked out. Man, this kid works. Sometime later, the clone is just staring at him, man. His soul already leaving his body. Until Dio Chill comes over and hands him a Pepsi twist. He praises Galando, which is actually the clone's name, and tells our boy, "You look wrecked, dude. Are you tired?" He says, "Man, this is rough. How do you live like this, bro?" The guy even compliments both of them, saying, "Most rookies run away by now." Then the guy asked our protagonist, "What university do you go to, you sneaky brat?" He says he studies at some place called Nangoguk. The old guy goes, "That's a crazy tough university to get into." Our protagonist, a clever little bastard, says he didn't even study much and got an easy. The guy's like, "Da."
"Damn, you passed. Then I've got a little idea. How about a second part-time job?" Our protagonist's like, "Another job? What kind?" He says, "Instead of suffering here like a loser since clearly you can't handle it, how about being my daughter's tutor? Wu is going to send the clone. No way. Right now the real one's going in person, huh?" he's kind of antisocial and not really into it. But for someone who needs money, man, he'll take whatever. Especially since the guy is paying $200 an hour. So yeah, easy money, just teaching doesn't even tire him out. Sweet deal. Best part is after one workday he's gaining stats across the board. Having two bodies training is a huge advantage. The only downside is the clone is a damn food monster. The next morning he wakes up totally wrecked after the workday. He got some stats and already tells the clone to come home. Looks like he left it working all night. This is basically slavery now. He says his kamasu and the little clone shows up all tired. Yo clone, go take a shower, change clothes. The clone isn't even done before he goes, alright, what's next? Give him your hand, dummy. He pulls out a big old needle. What's he going to do? Gives it a little poke. Some blood comes out. Huh? Normal. He did that cause that hunter site said to unlock the regeneration stat, you got to injure yourself and let the wound heal naturally. You keep doing it over and over until someday it unlocks.
Pure RNG, Mann.
Being a good boss, he tells the clone, eat raiment, train, work, do nothing else. And take this phone too. With that, he's already set on going to the gym. On the way there, boom, this big ugly buff guy grabs him. Yo, you bastard. Jeongdu. The guy says he didn't even recognize it was the protagonist, right? He lost all that weight. You slay dog. I'm working out now. You hear? I'm going to be the next Sububum. The chubby one goes, oh, you want to be Subum? I want to be Ramon. So the two troublemakers head to a gym that supposedly had a hot female trainer, but nope, bro. It's just a bunch of jack dudes eating chicken. The trainer shows up and our protagonist asks him to teach him all the exercises cause for the clone to do it, he's got to learn it first. So the first time's got to be the real one. While he's there lifting his little 2-kilo weights, his friend's already lifting tons, showing off. Oh, look at me. This is my first time. Damn, you're strong for real. Huh? Our boy looks over. Sheesh. No wonder this guy said he awakened 2 abilities. One of them's got to be strength. The phone he left with a clone is one he used for gaming. His own phone rings, right? That old guy calls him to come give the lesson, man. When he gets there, he hears through the door that there's an argument going on. The girl doesn't want to study. She's going off on her dad. And suddenly, boom, the door gets flung open right into our boy's face. Totally wrecked. He falls on the ground like a fool, all crook. But from a distance, he sees a little waifu already sitting there all awkward. He asks, are you Miss Hyen? She says, yes. Her mom says that earlier she didn't want to study at all. But apparently as soon as he walked in, she was totally cured and suddenly wants to hit the books. She's blushing, doesn't want him to know she was yelling. But our boy, he's straight to the point. He's like, show me your grades. I want to see the disaster I'm going to have to fix. Man, the girl only gets 6 and 5 sid. Like, he's seen worse but still kind of dumb. The parents are there like, I don't know if anything right. The dad's already out the door like no way he's dealing with this. She's kind of shy, head down. Our protagonist is like, well, whatever. I'm getting paid to teach. That's the deal, man. Alright then. I didn't get a good score on my aptitude test either. She perks up. Time to start the little lesson. He steps out afterwards, sighing, woo. This is going to be a long road. Oh, but it seems like she actually studied a bit, huh? Usually in anime, the girls asking for a tutor don't want to learn at all. He goes back home, assuming his other clone is still out working. The problem is communicating with the clone. Even though he can give commands mentally, he has no idea what's going on, He needs to call the clone and talk, which means he'd need a phone for each one. But that's a hassle, too. So, he visits the hunter's website to check out some skill scrolls, but man, those things are expensive. There's one ability that lets you share senses with your creature. So, like, he'd be able to see through his summon and know exactly where it is, but it costs 100 million. So yeah, that's not happening. Or there's a telepathy skill that lets you talk to your clones from far away, not just give commands. But that one costs 400 million. It's rough, man. Living in a rental, he says it's easier to buy a house than buy one of these skills. And he starts thinking, damn, do hunters really make that much money that they can afford these things? Meanwhile, I've got 500 bucks in the bank. He crashes onto the bed, wondering, should I become a hunter? The news is all about hunters buying mansions, millionaires, the richest people out there. He jumps up like, you know what? I'm not going to leave my clones stuck doing manual labor. That'd be a waste. Let's try to become a hunter. And boom, he unlocks the vitality stat. They give that little lord dump, portals appeared, monsters came out, and humanity was nearly wiped out. That's when hunters started to appear, and bit by bit, humanity started winning the war. Now the world's a safe place, but he's thinking it might not stay safe for long, judging by what that jumper guy was saying. After learning a bit about the hunter business, he heads to the association. Thanks for watching this video. If you deities want part 2, then please like, comment, and subscribe. Target comments for today are 100 comments. Please show some love. Bye bye.